Hello, Titan Army. Happy Friday, and welcome to our edition of our Titan Talk here on the 28th of Feb. It's a sunny day in New York. We do not have RT with us today, so it will just be me. Feel free to put all your questions in the chat. We've had a very busy week, and we've got some exciting updates for all of you today. We'll be going through the results of our Holders Frenzy, and then getting ready for our Titan Tournament Volume 21, which is going to be starting in just over a week. On top of that, we'll share the latest on our weekly community events and dive into those updates that we saw in terms of balance and the patch notes that we posted for all of you as well. Of course, this is the time that I'd say, let me hand it over to RT for any opening comments, but as he's not here, we'll dive straight in with our results of our Holders Frenzy. So on Saturday, we had some intense battles in the arena. So congratulations to everybody that played. And of course, thank you to everybody that supported us on our Twitch as well. We had a lot of intense battles for this one. And we saw a lot of different elements coming through, ranging from Dusk, Forest Dawn to Sea. And we had our competitive prize pool that was up for grabs. So definitely not a tournament that you would want to miss. So after a fierce day of competition, 4 Titans made it to the top. But of course, as you know, only one Titan can claim victory. So diving into the results. Taking first place and earning 300 USD, we had Ivan El Mosquito, who dominated with the arena with their Sea Titan, aptly named Octopus. Really showing us the strategy and precision that you can have with the sea element. In second place, we saw Shiro with their Dusk Titan Leon Tenona, securing 260 USD. Unfortunately, just falling short of that number 1 position. And we do have our runners up as well for our brackets. So in bracket 1, we saw Heya fighting very valiantly to get to the top, but finishing with a runner-up position with their Titan Come On D2 Play, a Dawn Titan earning 100 USD. Good to see Heya back in the arena, definitely one of our veteran players. And then in bracket 2, we saw Babby OP claim our second runner-up spot, also taking home 100 USD for their battle with their Forest Titan that was also named Heya. It's going to be hilarious if one day we just have all the Titans named Heya. But again, thank you to everybody that supported us with our Holders Frenzy. And congratulations to all our winners there. I see your question there, Shenlong. I'll get back to that in a second. But with our Holders Frenzy complete, of course, now all of our eyes are going to be turning to our Titan Tournament Volume 21. We're going to have new matchups that are going to be in the arena. We're going to have a fresh balance. And of course, more opportunities for you to dominate. Maybe get that role that we've had for those elemental roles if you do manage to win 5 of your matches in a row in that gauntlet style playoff. So we'll see who joins RCS with that one, with the play only getting more and more competitive. So for our Titan Tournament, Volume 21, countdown is now on. We have that $20,000 prize pool, and everyone will be battling in the arena next Saturday. So we're going to have those 256 players. We did go live with the slots already, and we are completely full. So there are going to be no first come, first serve slots available. But we'll be following the standard team-based format, leading to that intense 3-player gauntlet playoff, where finalists must defeat every Titan of their opponent to actually claim ultimate victory. We will go over the tournament schedule next week. But in the meantime, I want to talk through some very important dates that are already locked in. So the final data submission deadline is going to be next Monday, March the 3rd at 12 p.m. EST. Final Titan changes are going to be on Saturday, 8th of March at 4 a.m. EST. And the Titan tournament itself is going to kick off on Saturday at 8 a.m. usual time. We'll be in the arena with all of you. As mentioned, we're going to be following the standard Titan tournament format. So we've got those 256 players, level 7 max for our Titan tournaments. And we're giving you this weekend off, also giving ourselves this weekend off to be able to prepare and get ready for that Titan tournament. So of course, we hope that you'll use this time to really test the latest balance, past changes that you see there, and get yourselves ready to try to claim victory in the arena. But stay tuned, everyone, for any announcements that we do have, or any requests that are going to be coming in next week, leading into our Titan tournament. It does feel wrong, right, Chiku, without having any tournaments. We're happy about it. We just have a little bit of a break before we dive back into the arena. And then, of course, with those balance updates, right, we want to make sure that you're all prepared and ready to go for this one next Saturday. So, tournament action over. Let me answer the question by Shenlong. Okay, so Shenlong, is there a way we can get an Excel sheet for entire scrolls and weapons scroll list? I mean, you can see obviously everything in the game when you go to Mystic. But if it is helpful to have things in Excel format, we can look into doing that for you as well. And the new patch in Excel format, so you can compare a change. Yeah, again, we can look into that for you, or try to give a better way that we can show some of these balance updates. It's quite an uplift for us. Daniel, who said Excel, yeah, is perked up, I'm sure, when you heard Excel. Yeah, I can understand that it's hard to keep track of these things. Maybe it's something that we could try to give to team owners, for example, to start getting ready and make sure that you can track the changes. But we'll look into that request for you. Thanks for that, Shenlong. You've made the sheet. All right, send it over. We'll take a look. See what we can do. All right. So, in addition to our tournaments, we have exciting things that are happening in our Discord, where we have our community events that are happening as well. And it's time for us with our weekly TitanTalk to check in on just how we've done this week with our community events. So for the challenge we had this week, we've been tracking the daily logins, and now we're in the final stride to hit those community milestones. Right now, here's where we stand. So we've had a total of 65 players that have submitted login proof. And we have 18 players that haven't missed a single day. And currently we're over 200 total logins that are tracked, right? So that's great. There's still some time for you and to keep meeting those milestones. So still time to log in, submit proof, and claim your rewards before the challenge ends. So if you haven't started, this is going to be kind of the last stretch, final chance for you to contribute. So make sure that you do that. Yeah, Chiku, these are the numbers that we have so far. So yeah, get on it, everyone. There's definitely more numbers than that, right? We need to hit our goals. Of course, thank you to everybody that has done that so far, and we look forward to getting more. We also, in addition to this, have our referral challenge, which has also helped to bring in some new members to our Titan army. We appreciate everybody who is participating in our referral challenge, and we want to give a special shout out to 3 players in particular who have been bringing more players in. So in first place, we have our RDNA Gaming sitting at the top, who's brought in 7 new invites to our referral challenge. Second place, and very close behind, is Winneman. Maybe Winneman can try to take over. Right behind with 6 new invites. And in third place, we see Joel. Just saw you, Joel, in the chat there. Rounding out the top 3 with 4 new invites for this weekly challenge. It is lower than expected, Chigu. So it's on you, right? We gotta meet these milestones, right? But congratulations to those 3, RDNA Gaming, Winneman, and to Joel. So if you are looking to earn some extra rewards, this is a great way to start doing it. Keep sending those invites before the challenge does end. It's been amazing to see these referrals working, right? For us to start seeing these new players coming into our Discord. And it's been amazing to start seeing the content that's also being created through this as well, and through the game itself. We're going to continue with these weekly challenges and keep continuing to think of new ways that we can really get community involved to help us grow, right? This referral is just one mechanic, but we have more that we're thinking of. And of course, for all of you, there are going to be more rewards along the way as you help us to do that. On top of the rewards that go straight into your account when you are bringing in new players, it just helps us to strengthen the competition that we have in the arena as well, right? All these new players moving us towards PvP, making sure we can have these matchups. We've got a few days left in these weekly challenges, so make sure that you're logging in, make sure that you're submitting proof, make sure you're inviting more friends. Let's knock off these people that are in the top 3 spots at the moment, and let's close out the week strong and claim these rewards, everyone. But again, congrats to everybody that's been participating so far. Question from Shenlong. Imagine if someone is able to get 100 players and KYC is also done. How are spots and Titans going to be managed? I assume you're talking about spots going into our Titan tournament with this Shenlong. Yeah. So we need to have more tournaments, and we need to be able to also expand out our tournaments outside of 256. And we'll likely have to introduce a mechanic around how these spots are actually filled, like whether it's through competitive play. But they're very much in demand at the moment. We're not going to be able to obviously continue in this way. Like going into Titan Tournament Volume 22 next month, I see that we're going to have to probably change and maybe make it more competitive. Maybe it will be like based on things like referrals, or maybe it's going to be based on history. To make sure that we can make it fair for everyone. I mean, right now we are highly oversubscribed. Every time that we do come to fill up a Titan tournament, we're now hitting towards 300, right? That people are asking for slots for, and of course it's only going to keep increasing, right? Without the tournament platform, we've talked about this before. It does make it a little bit more difficult for us to scale out to 512, for example. So before that, we'd probably have to do more like Chiku saying, these qualifiers. To let you know a little bit of insight into some of the things that we've been working on this week as well, just in that vein. And it's not something that we're ready to announce yet, but we have been looking at our tournament model in general, how we are going to start working in terms of qualifiers to get you towards Titan tournaments, not just for these, but for our affiliates as well. But yeah, we got to make history, just as BVT says. We got to make some history. You see in the future 1 FT per spot per player. Yeah. I mean, you should want to be inviting people into the game, right? Regardless of the tournament, right? All the new players that we do have, it just again lends us really more towards competitive play. Exactly where we're trying to go with the game. So keep inviting people regardless of the challenges that we do have. Yep, and leaderboard is meant for this. So regarding the weapons, can we change them during best of 3? It's a question coming in. I do actually have some updates when it comes to changing weapons between games. I'll talk about it in a second now as I go through kind of the patch notes and some of the balance updates. To make as you go through play in terms of changing the weapons. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? So funny thing, my phone keeps on picking up the mic all the time because they're listening to me all the time, and it keeps trying to switch my audio over to my phone, so that's why it keeps like disconnecting. So apologies for that. They're listening all the time. My phone is constantly listening. Yeah, exactly. That's what I look like right now. All right, so let's talk a little bit about this balance update, right? This was a pretty big one for us. You know that we're trying to do balance updates on a timely schedule, so really trying to get big ones in once a month. and we've also released a new build, and you saw this in the patch notes as well. So let me go through some of these updates that we have. So we have this new patch, which is a major update. It went live for all of you yesterday. We've got some new features, gameplay improvements. We've got these balance changes, crucial balance changes. And a lot of this is based on your feedback and data-driven. So we're pretty excited for you to test it out and give your feedback back on it. We saw like such a lot of feedback for balance, and we do really appreciate everybody that shared their thoughts. Of course, with this, input is really essential to keep making sure it's the best experience. We also do look at data when it comes to these balance changes, right? We look at, the deltas that we have. We look at the ratios, mana, damage. We look at the popularity of some of these scrolls that people are using, how effective they are in game. We want to be in a position where people don't feel like they have to have certain scrolls in the decks. We want to make it a well-rounded game for all of you, and of course we want to make sure that all of the elements are competitively played as well. But we took a lot of your feedback into consideration as well. If you haven't already seen, head over to the patch notes where you can see the full list of changes, but I'll run through some of those that we do have in particular. So we have the Apple ID login and registration. So this was, okay, I'll talk about that in a second here, right? So we've got the Apple ID login and registration. This was a long-awaited feature. So you can now seamlessly sign in with your Apple ID. We have the new grimoires. We've been talking about that for the last few TitanTalks, and they're now out. So we've added 9 new grimoires into the game. So you'll see that there is 1 per element, plus there is a neutral grimoire. You can purchase these directly from Azuri in the marketplace, and you'll be rewarded with those in-game scrolls depending on the grimoire that you go for. Nice and long. We also have the marketing loot box. So this is now a redeemable loot box that has been added to Loot Island. So keep an eye out for how to claim it. And we have the Unity version upgrade. So we have updated everything to improve our stability and our performance to the latest version of Unity. So hopefully you see those changes as well. In addition to that, we also have some pretty nice UI UX enhancements that we've added to keep things a little bit smoother for all of you in game. So we have improved the registration flow for third-party logins. So when you're logging in with Google, when you're logging in with Discord, this should be an improved flow for all of you. We also now have the show password button. It's been added to mobile, so you have smoother logins there as well. On the world map, you will also see that we have removed the Trident X location, as well as the in-game assets. We've removed this because it was only meant to be temporary. Once we do start working with more brands again, you're going to see more areas on the map. They're going to be filled up, and who knows? Maybe again we're going to see the Trident arena come back. Maybe in a different spot. Maybe it'll be called something else. But for now, we've removed that out of the game. And we have also added new League Challenger event screens, which have a much clearer promotion-demotion indicator for all of you as mobile players as well. And lastly, for the patch notes, before I do dive into some of these balance changes, we have improved things when it comes to bugs, so things are a little bit more stable for everyone. So firstly, we have... I'm just seeing Yash's question. I'll answer that in a question, yeah. So for the stability and some of the bug fixes that we have, so we addressed numerous disconnect and matchmaking issues that we had, making the gameplay much more reliable and stable. So thank you for your feedback that we caught there. We've also reworked disconnection and reconnection system, focusing on fewer interruptions, smoother gameplay. We fixed the matchmaking bug screens. So this is aimed at making sure that players don't get stuck on this matchmaking screen anymore. We've resolved a few in-game freezes and crashes that we saw. Again, thank you for the feedback that was coming in and those bug reports. We fixed some of the issues around recall and the redraw phase. So we should see, hopefully, no more misplaced scrolls or collapsed states of those scrolls as well. And lastly, we fixed some of the subscription and leaderboard errors that we saw primarily in connection with rankings and rewards. So these should now display correctly. A lot of updates that we gave, a lot of updates that we worked on this week, well, the last few weeks that the dev team has been working on to really try and make sure things are stable. Going into our next Titan tournament, of course, we'll all be kind of waiting in that first round to make sure that things are really smooth. But we feel pretty confident with the changes that we've made on our side to make sure that experience is a lot smoother. Right. In addition to this, we have the balance changes that we are very excited about and excited for you to also test out. I'll run through some of the highlights of some of the balance changes, but of course, the best way for you to really get an insight into them is to make sure that you're actually playing the game, right? So let me run through the elements and just give some of the highlights. So for our C elements, we have buffed the mana ratios in general. So we took this as a very data-driven approach, and really paying attention to some of the underutilized scrolls that we had across the elements. In general, we've also added a little bit more damage, and we've come back to this kind of mana control that we had with C, that we lost a little bit. So for example, you'll see that Rain is moving mana over more turns, providing more synergies also when it comes to cleanse, but really trying to give C that idea of focusing on mana control. When it comes to Dusk, we've reduced some of the health costs in various places. We've also changed some of the scrolls, in particular Adrenaline Rush, for example, making all attacks using Magicka. So giving kind of an alternative build to Dust, so you can use it a little bit more as a Magicka build. We've rebalanced some of the scrolls in general to make sure that it's a little bit more favorable in terms of the delta. And when I say delta, I mean the kind of ratio that you have between mana and damage, or health and damage. Just want to point out that for the Dusk element, currently, true damage is not something that we can modify, but it is something that we are actively looking at to potentially put in next week. Hey, you think Dusk is weird? I mean, play it, right? And tell us what you think. For Dawn, yeah, Dusk is always great. I agree. Always fun. I think it's gonna be fun to see if we get some new kind of slightly new playstyles with Dusk, focusing a little bit more on Magicka. For Dawn, you'll see a general kind of rebalancing that we have across the element. We've put in more scrolls that have damaging attack, and we've raised some of the mana costs. You'll see just in a couple of places we've reduced some of the damage, like you'll see with Dawn Strikers as well. For Forest, C became dry. For Forest, very, very strong element at the moment that we were seeing. So we didn't make too many changes with Forest. We just toned things down just a little bit in terms of both damage and mana, but not too many changes that you'll see with Forest. Similar to that, when it comes to Lava, the only real changes that we made with Lava is that we were rebalancing some of that delta again, right? So making sure that the mana costs really do equate well to damage, to make it a balanced element. When it comes to Poison, so this is actually based on feedback that we got from you as well with the community. So for the Poison effect, it's going back to 15 damage per turn, up from 10, which it was before, for 3 turns. And generally with that element, you could see a little bit more damage that's been put back into Poison. For Sky, we have added a little bit more damage as well to the elements. And you'll see some scrolls that also cost a little bit less. So an example is Flying Menace, which is less expensive now, which people were asking for too. With Spike, so this is a control class for Spike. So generally you're going to see more buffs, but we will look to do a balance, maybe a balance change on this one later. But we have a general rebalancing of the element to pick up some scrolls in particular. You'll see that we've moved provocation to be all stats. Concussion jab is now magicka and attack. And again, just some general rebalancing of the element. So check out the patch notes to see the full list there. When it comes to our attack scrolls, so this was pretty data driven for us as well. So we buffed some of the scrolls where we don't have a strong win rate for the attack scrolls, and added just a little bit more damage to most things. So small changes with attack, nothing too drastic. For our defense, we have added a little extra defense, or we have added some extra turns there. You'll see Entangle is now the opposite of Courage that came through the community poll. We have reduced the regeneration card. This is one that we saw in like every deck. It's played a lot, so we've reduced that a little bit. And we have reduced the mana cost for Taunt. When it comes to our support, you'll see that we've generally added some buffs. It's a little bit more closely aligned to where we were before with supports. For Mana Well and Mana Drain, we have revamped it a little bit. We have added 5 to Mana Well, and we have taken 5 off Mana Drain. In general, this kind of follows the premise of us removing some of the mana in game. We didn't make any changes to Energy of Aegis or Major Recovery, but I do want to give a heads up that that's something that we are looking at actively to potentially change in our next patch. And Courage, due to overwhelming feedback that we have had from Courage, we have not changed Courage. When it comes to our weapons, data driven for us, we looked mostly at the popularity that we had with weapons. We want to make sure that people really start to explore the breadth of the weapons that we do have. We are seeing that change, right? And definitely coming into tournaments, it's getting more exciting to see people sporting different weapons. The changes are pretty subtle that we have. Most of them you'll see are actually amongst mana. But again, it's really for us to be able to try to get people to start exploring the different weapons, putting it into their play style. I talked about weapons for our Titan tournament, and I want to reiterate this point again. So for our next Titan tournament, you will be able to change weapons during the tournament between each game, right? So between a best of 3, you are going to be able to change your weapons. Yes, fire. I like that. I like that you're happy about that. When you see all the changes that have been made to weapons as well, we think it's going to be really exciting for people to kind of adjust their play styles as they kind of see it. At any time, you're going to be able to change your weapons. No, you cannot change scrolls. You can just change weapons. No, and you can't change stats. We can't give you everything. Some feedback and requests. Okay, so from Joe. New players can't participate in tournaments. Team already have experienced players and fixed lots, and their chance of affiliate is also less. So that's really actually something that's more that we put the onus on you when we say that new players can't participate in tournaments. Right? We've seen some new players coming in through tournaments that have performed particularly well. They've been training with their teams, and they've understood the game really well, right? So it's not something that we would enforce on our side to say that new players can't play. It's on you if you want to bring in new players, if you think they can perform. But what we do really need, though, on this vein, Joel, and where we agree with you, is that we do want to have spaces that are specific to new players in general, right? So making sure that we have tournaments that are a little bit more competitive for our seasoned players, or making sure that we have tournaments that are geared at like lower levels, for example. Again, I said that we are revamping our tournament model and giving a lot of thought to that at the moment. We've done it this week. We'll be doing that again next week, and hopefully on our TitanTalk we'll be able to give you more updates. next Friday. It's just, right now we're maxed out a little bit in how we can do these tournaments, right? But we're working on it. Again, tournament platform is like so needed for us to be able to run this effectively. Where it's manual, it's just hard. Oh yeah, right. You said, sorry, I didn't see the second half, Joel, there, where you said, can we introduce a new tournament? Yeah, exactly. Right. These are the things that we're looking at. And as we start to think about like qualifiers, right, that really moves us and lends us more towards thinking about new players as well. Coming in and then trying to climb up the ranks. But we're with you. Same train of thought. So very excited for you to test out everything that we've done in terms of balance. Keep the feedback coming for us. Let's test it out with our next Titan tournament. We'll be keeping a very close watch on everything, how each element is performing, how you're all reacting to it, how you all like the change of weapons, and if that does bring more interesting play to all of us as well. And we want to make sure that we don't really have any element that is really dominating the meta. Big step forward for us, but we won't stop here. We'll keep on making the adjustments as we need to until we feel like we're in a much better place. But we're pretty happy with this one. You've got a week, just over a week, to get your strategies ready. So again, just keep the feedback coming for all of us. So it's been a while since I've given like really, really juicy alpha for all of you. So I'm going to give you all a little bit of juicy alpha right now. I'll talk about it more in depth next week on our Titan Talk. But I want to give you a little bit of an insight into some of the other things that we're working on. Just to make the gameplay more exciting for all of you as well, and more competitive. So there are 2 new things that we are going to be introducing into the game soon. Well, 3 because Surge as well, right? So to your question, Nero, 3. So Surge is coming soon. But the other 2 things that we are going to be releasing. So firstly, we're going to be adding new elemental effects into the game. So this is something this is something that we are going to be releasing in our next build, which is going to be coming next month. Right, I said I'll dive into it on next week's Titan Talk, but I'll give you like an example and a little snippet of what we're thinking here. Right. So, for example, with our C element, we have a new effect which is called Sync, which means at the end of the turn, but before any passive effects take place, you're going to be able to convert your opponent's negative mana into true damage. To be clear here, the turns do not stack, but this is one example of what we are going to do. You'll see all of these going across all of the different elements. We'll have 1 for each element, and then we will also have some neutral ones that won't be element specific. The mana, yes, mana, as Ink is saying, mana debuffs on your opponent will become damage. But yes, one for each element and some neutral ones. So excited to see how you all do with those. And then we have some new things that we're going to be introducing in relation to Surge and in relation to hand size as well. So get excited for that. And then the second thing that we're going to be releasing is around seasons, right? So we have talked about seasons for so long, and we've been waiting for the right moment to release them. But we are going to be releasing our seasons. So we're going to have our season 1, which will be running until the end of the year. And it's going to be giving more rewards, looking towards competitive play. And we have decided that with our seasons, it will be attached to our leagues. So depending on how you perform in the league over the season, you're going to be rewarded with, drum roll, a customized weapon. So this is not something that can be traded. It will be special just for you within the leagues and the winners. And you will also have badges which will be showing your accomplishments as well. We've had a lot of, as in a unique weapon. Yes, Nero. I know we've had a lot of chat of people really wanting to really get into the competitive play, like the leaderboards really meaning something for people. And it makes sense for us to be releasing this when we have the seasons. And as you do well in the leagues, you get something that really is rewarding, right? Like we went through kind of the list of rewards, and every time we're like, no, it's not enough, it's not enough, it's not enough. Until we came to these unique weapons. So Chiku, it's likely to not just be for the top one, right? Like we want to make sure that it's more about just one person in each in each of the different divisions. So it'll be more than one. The exact number is yet to be decided, but it will be, yes, it's going to be custom, you know, cosmetically, and then obviously also the scrolls, right? So it'll be a completely new weapon. Yes, we got some work to do on our side, but we got till the end of the year to figure it out, right? And we'll probably actually come to you as well to get some feedback on it. Something that we can build together when we talk about the rewards and the weapon and what it is for each league. But of course, the higher leagues are going to get more. Yeah, so at Shenlong, it's a really good point, right, about making the selection go by default to ranked. And that is an easy fix for us. We have had this conversation actually as a team about what is the default. You know, it's where we've been looking at this new player entry, right, versus where we are today. Right now, when you go to ranked, we don't. It's not that you get a match immediately, right? What we don't want to do is deter people away, just at the moment by going straight to ranked, whilst we don't immediately match. But of course, it's something that we've thought about, and when the timing makes sense for us to do it, we will do that. But it's a good shout out, Shenlong. Jackson, my dog, is it's funny because I'm sitting here and Jackson is just going mental listening to this TitanTalk. So he's excited as well. The dog's very excited about all of this. So we've got a lot of cool things for us to look forward to coming up. Again, I'll talk about it more next week. I'll dive into what seasons are going to look like. We'll talk a little bit more about those rewards. I'll let you know what all of the effects are for each of the elements and what the neutral ones are. I gave you a little bit of a preview with sync, but you can kind of see the direction that we're going in. Other updates for us to look forward to. We keep saying it, but animations will be coming. We'll do some more sneak peeks for you as well in terms of the animations. Hey, how many elements? Every element is going to get new effects, and then we'll have some new ones as well. Neutral ones as well. So there'll be one per element. The ice one, right, Chiku? Shenlong, we need 2 weapons for each category of stat point in offhand and main hand. I mean, new weapons as well, right, is something that is ongoing for us. It's just a prioritization when we look at our product roadmap and what we're putting into the game. But of course, like new weapons isn't something that we forgot about either, right? We need to deepen our pool. All right. So we have got some. Ice would be cool if it would freeze mana when it's okay. Now, like, open up the ice thing, like, you know, JK about ice. Loads of asterisks coming through as Ross would do. But check it when I talk about it next week. Really check them out. See how it can impact your play style, and get ready for that coming in the next build. Those elemental effects, they're going to be really fun. I'm pretty sure when we release those elemental effects, you're all going to have a bunch of comments and feedback as to how we could make it better. So of course we're open to that as well. All right, quick Titan talk for us today. We talked about our holders frenzy, where Titans clashed for dominance, trying to get a share of that prize pool. We talked about our upcoming Titan tournament, volume 21, right, for that $20,000 prize pool that we have coming next weekend. And we talked about our latest community event. Still got time, so make sure that you are showing us proof of those logins. Make sure that you keep inviting friends. Let's knock people off those top spots. And let's hit our community milestones as well. And then we went into some of the updates when it comes to the game with the patch notes, and then those all important balance changes that we do have. We're ready for our next tournament to happen. We're ready to see some of those balance changes in place and just see how you all work with it. Next week, we'll get into those exciting elemental effects, and we'll talk a little bit deeper about what it means for us to have seasons. But that's a wrap from us, Titan Army. Any questions before we go into that rumble? I'm doing the rumble, right? So, there's going to be no, effects. It's just going to be me talking. It's going to be dry. Just letting you all know. Blake's mic is conveniently not working, so I have to do it. Any questions, put them in Titan Games, and we'll kick off over there. All right, we got 10 people ready to go. Okay, so Yash, will an in-game mic ever come in the future while doing PvP? So it's not something that we have thought about, to have an in-game mic. We have thought about communication that happens right during the game between players. That is definitely something that we've talked about. But it being a mic is not currently in our plan, but it is an interesting idea for us. All right, we have got 18 people ready to rumble. Reminder of those rules: 1 medium loot box if you kill ads, Ad Sharma or Reign of Titans official. Good to have you on the team, Ad Sharma. 1 normal loot box for everybody if either of us commit suicide, and 1 medium loot box if you win the Super Rumble. I'm feeling stabby today. I haven't felt stabby in a while, but today's the day. I think I'm gonna call it. I think I'm gonna win it today. All right, Ant, you ready? You're with us now. You're not loyal to any of these other people anymore. You're loyal to us. You're with us. Forget everybody else. All right, we're about to kick off. 24 participants. I'm gonna kill them all. All right, so round 1. Oh, Reign of Titans has been killed. We've got Golcinero receiving a water supply, and we have got Heya and Daniel doing some damage. Round 2. Oh, the only thing I'm reading is that I've got a dagger. You know what that means? Stabby, stabby, stabby. I told you. I'm calling it. I've got this one. Round 3. Unfortunately, Ink has been killed by Golcinero. And we have Mesh sharpening their bone into a dagger. Oh, it might be a dagger fight. I like that. Round 4. Heya. You got slaughtered by my dagger. Sorry, Heya. It's not personal. I'm just on a stabbing rampage. Oh, yep, more stabbies. Ads killing everyone. BVT has been poked by Phoenix Wolf. and we have Daniel snapping Shenlong's neck. Wow. Cats, 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 cats. Daniel stopping to smell the flowers. Oh, and Crypt stabbed 24 daggers into Abhishek. No one's gonna kill me, Joel. I've said it. I said it. I'm going for it. 6 plays left, round 7. Crypt waking up in the morning. Golcinero, you're out. You're done. And now we've got Daniel, who also has a dagger. This is a dagger fight now at this point, right? Uh-oh. Now we have a resurrection. Okay. Our team is back in action. We've got Anch back and we've got Reign of Titans official back. And we have Mowgli and Annette, the duck, is also back. Going into round 9, the duck left their supplies. Crypt stabbed another 24 daggers. Wow. And Ant Sharma has also found a dagger. Ugh. Oh, man. I thought I had it. Okay, Crypt, we need to talk about this later. Stabbing me and then stabbing Gayfar. I'm sorry. Yeah, you're getting banned, Crypt. You're done. Daniel is out of action. Reign of Titans official, breaking Mowgli's neck, and Anch doing it for the team. Doing it for the team. Yep. Killing Crypt. Exactly. Revenge done. Revenge done. Round 12, we just got 2 players left. We've got Reign of Titans officials being killed, so not in it anymore. So we have got Annette the duck, and then we have Anch, I believe, are the 2 that are left. Oh, yes. Yes. Anch. So the duck is the Anch Sharma is taking it for the win. Which is basically the same as like Reign of Titans official and myself taking it for the win. So GG's. I'm gonna take that basically. Anch. Good. It was a good call for us. Good bounty. GG's, everyone. Should we do one more? I feel like it went quite quick. One more? All right, let's do one more. One more rumble. All right, Ant, you rolling with us again? All right. So we still got the bounty on Anch. 22 players ready for this one. Yeah, that last game was just the practice one for me. Just you could start to see the kind of stabbiness that I'm feeling today. But now I'm like gonna put it into real action. It's just a preview. Exactly, Shenlong. That's why I'm at. All right, 60 seconds to go. I also cannot wait for the new effects, Chiku. I'm excited to share it on next week's TitanTalk. I think you're all gonna really like it. That was a fun one for us to be thinking about these effects. Shenlong, is this personal? It feels personal. Oh, all right, bring it, Shenlong. Don't be scared of them, Haya. Embrace them, you know? Dosa? Someone's talking about Dosa? All right, 26 participants. You all know my dietary requirements. All right, so what? This is ridiculous. I feel like I'm not even reading this thing anymore. Ugh. All right. We're just gonna get around 2. We're gonna pretend round 1 didn't happen. Okay, so myself, Reign of Titans official are out. Chiku is out. Abhishek is out. This is so ridiculous. This is horrible. I don't like this at all. Heya is out. Dino Sir got revived by God. Round 4, we have Chiku faking their death. Back in the game. Shenlong, faster fingers than Crypt. And we have Samir getting those 24 daggers and stabbing it into Joel. Round 5, we got another dagger with Daniel. Shenlong finding those edible berries. And unfortunately, those 24 daggers going into Killer Besto. Round 6, Dinosaur is out. We have Chiku that is out. Phoenix Wolf is out. Wow, okay, Shenlong, you might be on a little bit of a spree there, actually. I might have underestimated you. Round 7, we have Anch leaving their supplies, and we have Shenlong still on their killing spree, killing Abhishek. I need to do the cat, and I can't because I'm trying to read, but I need to get my cat in. There we go. All right, okay. Okay, round 8. We have BVT out. We have Anch that is out. Samir is looking good, receiving food and water from an unknown sponsor, getting themselves ready. Shenlong still on that killing spree. Fed a starving wolf, and then took out Samir. Round 10, we have Shenlong, lucky that the wolf was had sharp senses, and Sahibuta is out. Oh, Shenlong won it. Okay, I'm gonna be honest about that whole rumble. I just think it's all a little bit suspicious that I had this whole thing of like me and Shenlong going up against each other, then I get taken out first person in the first round, and then Shenlong wins it. I'm just saying. Okay, right, we're gonna do one more. But if I go out in the first round, I'm just gonna cut it. That's the deal. That's the only way I'm doing this one. First round, I'm out. You're not gonna hear anything from me. Unless I take out Shenlong. Then you'll hear. All right, it's time to be serious. Get stabby here. Yeah, exactly. These are rules. Thank you, Red Times Official, for making it official. If Ads dies in the first round, the commentary is going to stop unless I kill Shenlong. Right? It'll be a silent rumble. And this goes for every rumble that I commentate for. All right. 26 people. That silence that we just had for like 10 seconds, that's what it's going to be like. All right. 30 seconds. Yeah. Round 3. That's the goal. Has anyone not won a rumble here in the chat? I'm waiting for all these people that haven't won, in addition to myself, of course. All right, 28. Let's get ready. All right, we're not going to have Silent Rumble. I'm still in it. All right, Crypt is out. Shenlong is out. Good day for all of us. Heya tiptoed through the tulips. Anch stopped to smell the flowers, and Heya heard someone walking near them, and Daniel ate someone. Yeesh, that's harsh. Round 3, Daniel took out Reign of Titans official. Run of Titans official, and I was killed by a puppy. Daniel, you called it. You said round 3. You called it. You called it. But it's okay. I'll still compensate. Round 4, we have Heya speeding off a cliff. We have Joe killing Chiku. And I need to get my cat in there. I need to try and get back in the game. All right. Round 5, a few people died. Edith, Dinosaur, Abhishek, Anch. Round 6, Daniel still in there. I see that name. Oh, killing Sahib Debuta. But then unfortunately got killed by Maverick King. We got some whoop, 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 whoop. We got some resurrections in there. Shenlong, get out of here. I'm coming straight for you. Yeah, watch this next round. Or the next one, round 9, not this one. We have Abhishek out of the game. We have Maverick King out of the game. We have Mowgli that is out of the game. Ads is this is so ridiculous. Shenlong. Okay. Ads killed by Shenlong. What you need to know. I gotta get my cat in. I gotta try and get back. This might be like the revenge of the century. This is round 11. We have Joel killing Mahesh. We have Shenlong out. Thank you, Aqua Beast. Doing it for the team. Round 12. We have Joel that is out. 2 players left. Who's going to take it? I really want to get back in. Winner, we have Aqua Beast. I just have to personally, if I could shake your hand, Aqua Beast, I would, just for killing Shenlong. But GG's to everyone there. Exciting things. Take this weekend off from tournaments, play the game, get up to speed with the new balance. We'll be back next week with some of those exciting talks that we'll have about some of these effects. We'll have another Rumble. Rules are still going to stand. If I get killed in the first round, it's going to be silent. But if RT's back, then it will be fun. But thank you everybody for tuning in. And can't wait to hear your feedback on how things have progressed across this week. Thank you all. We'll catch you in the chat.